What can I do with a broken mirror? I broke this mirror a long time ago. I never chuck out a broken mirror. To me, it's good luck rather than bad luck. You can get old mirrors at yard sales, car boot sales and places like that really, really cheaply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this glass. I know a lot of people are scared about it. I mean, if you're concerned, wear some protective gloves. I don't tend to. Firstly, I want to make sure I'm nice and square here. So I've got a square that I'm using. My glass cutter, these are very cheap to buy. Firm position, keep it still, move it across there like that. And then all you need to do is tap it from underneath. And that should crack along there really easily. And then you can just square it up. So I want a nice rectangular mirror here and get rid of those bits. So all I'm going to do is, I've got that on there nice and firm again. I'm going to go through there. Never be tempted to go over it a second time. Nice and firm to start with. One strike, and that should be all you need. Tap it gently from underneath. And then you can break that off like that. Now, we will tidy those edges up, and I'm going to show you how you can do that really easily. And I'm also going to show you how you can make this a little bit more fancy smancy on the front. But what I need to do before I do anything else is give this a really good clean using some 99% alcohol, because it's got some nasty gluey bits all around these edges. Be careful, because these edges where you've just cut this are likely to be sharp. So just pop that on like that. It's got one or two scratches on it already, but they won't matter, because what we're going to do to it in a second is going to hide those scratches and give this a bit of a lift. And so far, this has cost me nothing. I will link everything I've used in the description below if you want to have a go at it. Honestly, cutting glass, it's just having the courage to have a quick go at it, and then you'll be fine. You practice on some thinner glass if you want before you do the bit that you actually want to go and cut. I'm going to run a blade along this where this glue seems to have settled. There we go, that's lovely and clean. It's so clean you can see all my camera set up. I won't get rid of those, because I will turn those into something as well at another date. So now I've got that all nice and clean and cut to the right size, what I've done is gone and cut myself a stencil using my Cricut. I've not used any special Cricut vinyl for this, to be honest. All I've used is a vinyl that I don't like. That's it. I don't like the colour of this one. As you know, I'm colourblind, so I can't actually even see what colour this is. So that's why I used it. And this was a brand new piece of transfer tape. I probably should have de-tacked it a little bit before I put it on, but there we go. So now that's gone on there, all I'm going to do is go over this now with one of my scraping tools to make sure that that is on there and not going to bleed through any edges. Now this is quite a tough glass. It's not toughened glass. It's not like Pyrex or toughened glass, but this will take a little bit longer to etch. Now things like Pyrex and a lot of toughened glasses are made very different to normal glass. Often they have a covering on them, so you can't use this armor etch on things like that. So if you've had armor etch and it's not worked for you, that is possibly why. I did some really interesting projects using a material other than glass, and I'll link that video at the end of this one. So I've got my armor etch here, got a brand new bottle because I ran out last time. And all I'm doing is placing this on fairly thick all the way around. Once this has done its business, I will scrape this off and reuse it. And I'll use it lots of different times. All I'm doing is dabbing it on, making sure it's covering everywhere that I want it to cover, and leaving it on really, really thick. And if you couldn't reuse this stuff, it'd break your heart, wouldn't it? So now I've got that on there nice and thick. What I'm going to do, as I said, it's very warm in here today. I don't want that drying out because I want to be able to let it etch for as long as I need it to. But also, I want to be able to reuse it again. So what I'm going to do is take some cling film like this, pop that over it, and that'll stop it drying out. And now I'm going to leave this for actually about 10 minutes, as opposed to the 4 or 5 that it says on the bottle. That's had 10 minutes now, so what I'm going to do is gently take this off. There's not going to be too much on there. And then I'm going to scrape this all back into the pot. Please, please, please make sure you follow the safety instructions with this. It's really, really important. It's a safe product to use as long as you follow their instructions. So all I'm doing is lightly scraping that over and picking up all the excess that I don't need. There's no point washing that all the way down the sink, is there? I've nearly got a full pot again. Now, I'm not going to chuck that film away yet. I'm going to put the lid on this. And now I'm going to take this to my kitchen sink and rinse it off with some cold water to make sure it's all nice and clean. And while that's wet, that actually doesn't look like it's been etched. But let it dry before you do anything else with it. Because if you feel it hasn't etched enough, what you can do is, with your transfer still on there, just let it dry and then give it a second etch. I don't think it was going to need it, to be perfectly honest. Dabbing it dry all over, I can already see where it is etched. So that's dry enough now, and what I can do is start to pull off my transfer. Now, you can't use this again, obviously, because you're just pulling it off. But once we've got this off, you should see that pattern nicely etched into this mirror. And some of that etching cream may have caught in the edges of this. So I always go and give it another rinse once I've done this bit. This is etched so nicely. And there we go. That is permanent. I know it's a mirror, so it's really hard to see it. But I mean, I can see it. But that is permanently etched into there now. It feels lovely. What it hasn't done is leave a little film of something over the top of that mirror. It has permanently removed the glass and etched that in there. I think that has come out so well. Now, you could put it in a frame if you wished, or you can do what I'm going to do. I'm going to edge it with some copper foil, and I'll show you how to do that now. Make sure you've got no sharp bits, though, from where you've cut the glass. I can see a couple of sharp bits on one end, so I'm going to quickly sand those down so they're no longer sharp. You could do it with your Dremel as well if you wanted to. So that's all cleaned and sanded now. All I'm going to do is go around the edges of it before I do anything else with some alcohol to make sure they're nice and clean and no dust. I like them when they're put in frames as well. So if you've got a frame from somewhere that's really cheap, cut your piece of mirror to the size of that frame, and then you can do that afterwards. And now I'm going to use this copper foil, which sticks on here. It's for making things like Tiffany lamps and those sorts of things. I'm going to start on one side because I don't want my join in the corner. And this is the wider tape I'm using here. And then once you've got that on, just fold that down, turn your glass over. I want to try and get it as near to the middle as I can of this copper tape. And then once I've gone all the way around, I can then line it up with this bit here, push that down, and then cut that off there. Now, using a bone folder, or technically it's called a fid, all I'm going to do is go around that like that and put that down so it's nice and adhered to the glass. Then do the same the other side again so it's nice and adhered to this glass. This copper foil is so useful. I make lots of jewellery with it as well. I've got a couple of videos on it, and I'm actually in the process of making another one. And that's what made me think of doing this mirror today. So check out some of those videos. They're all on my channel. And then on the end, I'm going to go round and just place that down even more. And there we go. It's all finished. Now, if you want to, you can go round with your solder and solder on top of this copper. But I like to finish it off like this. I like the way it tarnishes. Sometimes I go around and solder it, and sometimes I don't. But what it does is it makes it much nicer finish, and also there's no sharp bits at all coming through it. It finishes it off really nice as well if you're going to put this in a frame, because if anyone takes it out of the frame, then what you'll find is they feel like it's been done really well. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you surprised at how well that's come out? Just a bit of scrap mirror, some armour etch, a little bit of vinyl. I cut that out on my Cricut, and I think we've got something beautiful. It's a shame it's reflecting everything that's in my studio because it makes it look a little bit untidy, but there we go. If it was just a normal sheet of glass, you would see it. So check out the videos that I've got on how I make the jewellery and how I did the coasters using armour etch. I think you'll love those projects, and they're so easy to do. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your crafting. Take care. Bye.